Well, I just got done watching that absolute monstrosity of a game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Now if you're not a fan of either team, the game actually ended up being way more exciting than what was initially thought. The over-under was only 30 and a half, and the Patriots win the game 21-18, meaning the over-under was just a little above 30. And the Steelers have just lost their second consecutive game against a team that's 2-10. We lost to the Cardinals 24-10 last week to give them their third win of the year, and then tonight lose to the Patriots 21-18 to give them their third win of the year. The Patriots did absolutely nothing in the second half, but they didn't need to. They scored 3 touchdowns in the first half. Bailey Zappi threw 3 touchdowns, one to Hunter Henry and one to Ezekiel Elliott. And it's first time since Mike Tomlin took over as head coach of the Steelers in 2007 that the Steelers lost at home to a team that had at least 10 losses or more. The Patriots, in my opinion, going into this game, has the worst offense in the NFL, and you could probably make an argument as to why they are the worst team in the NFL. Yes, the Panthers were 1-10, or whatever the record was. The Patriots are arguably worse. Before this game, the Patriots had scored combined 13 points in their last 3 games. They lose 10-6 to the Colts, then they lose 10-7 to the Giants, and then they lose 6-0 to the Chargers. The Chargers, like terrible defense the Chargers have, and then they shut out the Patriots. And the Steelers, whose defense is statistically better and probably better, more talently, allows 21 points to this team. And you go to the video of, because I'm sure the NFL uploads a video every week doing previews of the games. At the end of the video, they have 10 quote-unquote experts with their prediction of the game. Every single one of them had the Steelers winning. And they didn't win. Oh, and who's to blame? A lot of people. If you want to blame the defense, blame their first half. I guess blame the first half performance. In a way, the Steelers only had 2 bad drives. Their Steelers defense only had 2 bad drives because one of the Patriots touchdowns was because of a crappy interception Trubisky threw to Jabril Peppers, who took it all the way to inside the 10-yard line. So you can't really blame that on the defense. And then the defense just absolutely plays lights out football the second half. But at that point, it's too late because the Patriots were up 21-3 at one point in the game. You have Trubisky's mid-ass throwing an interception. Yes, he did throw a touchdown in that game, which something Pickett hasn't done in so long. But to me, as a Steelers fan, it's just extremely frustrating just seeing people online just complaining about Kenny Pickett, saying, oh, this guy is trash, this guy is terrible. And then we put Trubisky in and he's worse. Go to the end of the game. Why is it every single time it's like a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, we just throw it deep? Instead of like the 4th and 2 call on our final drive, before the Patriots just had to just run the ball, and then before they had to punt it to us that final time. 4th and 2, and then what does Trubisky do? Throws it deep to Deontay Johnson in double coverage, and it wasn't even accurate. You had Allen Robinson, who was past the first down, who was open. You could tell that play, That's what the play call was. Just throw it deep. And the Patriots had to cover. You know why? Because Trubisky threw it like very quickly. There's something that exists that's called an audible that you could do to call out of it. Or why are we not throwing or running the ball? This is the same thing that happened against the Browns in Cleveland back in the middle of November. We had the ball in the final drive, and Pickett throws the ball 3 times in a row to nobody, and then put it back to Cleveland, who wins the game on a field goal. This time, Patriots have the ball. Oh, we just need to run clock out. Trubisky made Zappi look like the best quarterback the Patriots have ever had. And it's run game. Absolutely nothing. You know who our leading rusher was tonight? It wasn't Najee Harris. It wasn't Jalen Warren. It was Mitchell Trubisky at like 30-some rushing yards. And he had a rushing touchdown. And then, guys, guess what? Jalen Warren is capable of making mistakes. Like you see him, Warren missed a hole at one point in the game. And the thing that's frustrating to me is that if that was Najee that did that, Steelers fans would be on his ass. I don't know what Najee has done to this team that the Steelers fans just freaking hate him for some reason. Jalen Warren is capable of making mistakes too. Najee and Jalen Warren did absolutely nothing tonight. And yes, credit the Patriots defense. The Patriots have a good defense. And the fact that we were blessed, the fact that Judon didn't play, because if Matthew Judon didn't suffer an injury early in the year, whoa, like, come on. As a Michigan fan myself, they have Josh Uche, really good. Jabril Peppers, really good. We saw with that interception. The Patriots are not trash on defense. It's their offense that's holding them back. And the fact that they scored 21 on us, it's pretty freaking embarrassing. TJ suffered an injury on the first play of the game. Tackle Ezekiel kicked him in the face. It was an accident. It wasn't intentional. He got kicked in the face. Did that affect his game? No, it shouldn't have. He still played afterwards. Didn't really do much tonight. And we still suffer injuries on defense. Alex Highsmith got hurt. Keanu Benton got hurt. And we're already facing injuries with, Quan Alexander out for the year. Cole Holcomb out for the year. Landon Roberts has been with injury, but he played pretty good tonight. I will say Landon Roberts played pretty good tonight. How much more can this team take with injuries? Our injury report was already pretty big tonight, and now we're just added Alex Highsmith to... I should say we didn't do it. But it's just adding Alex Highsmith to the mix. Very embarrassing. I will even go as far and say this is the past 2 weeks is the most embarrassing thing I have ever experienced as a Steelers fan. Us starting 11-0 and then crapping the bed in 2020 doesn't even bear in comparison to what we have done the last 2 weeks. Losing 2 straight games to teams that only have 2 wins in December. Cardinals and now the Patriots, the 2 laughing stocks of the NFL, and the Steelers lose to both of them, making Kyler Murray and Bailey Zappi looking like they're Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Making Trey, and then just suffer. We can't cover tight ends. Hunter Henry ate us up today. And going back to last week, Trey McBride ate us up last week. What is our game plan with tight ends? And then just look at our schedule the rest of the season. Next week, we go to Indianapolis to play the Colts, who are red hot right now. Then to play Cincinnati. Jake Browning played amazing against Jacksonville. And then your last 2 games are at Seattle and at Baltimore. We're going to beat the Ravens, of course, because we always beat the Ravens because they suck against the Steelers. But the Seahawks game, who knows who will win? Probably not going to win that. This was a must-win game for us. We were 7-4. It's like, okay, the AFC playoff race is very close this year. You have so many teams that are on the same record competing for a wild card spot, and you're one of them holding the 5 seed after you beat the Bengals. Then what do? lose to the 2-10 Cardinals, and then lose to the 2-10 Patriots. Now you're sitting at 7-6. The best you can do is 11-6. But looking at our schedule the rest of the year, we're not going 11-6. Because, like I said, next week we play the Colts, who are red hot right now. They haven't lost a game since October. And, I mean, Gardner Minshew has been very solid for the Colts this year. Just think about what he's going to do. What we let Bailey Zappi do, just think about what Gardner Minshew's going to do. It's like... It's just extremely frustrating as a Steelers fan. Most embarrassing thing I've ever seen as a Steelers fan, losing 2 straight games to 2-10 teams that have been nothing but the absolute laughingstock of the NFL the entire year. Patriots, everybody joking about, the Patriots can't decide who their quarterback is because they keep going back and forth between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. And then the thing with the Cardinals, beginning of the year, everybody joked that their head coach, Jonathan Gannon, looks like Murr from Impractical Jokers. And with his whole fire in your gut thing. And then... I don't know what to say. It's just extremely frustrating. You guys can tell I'm frustrated. How do you lose 2 straight games with teams that are 2-10? And I know I'm complaining about the offense. And I'm not one of those delusional Steelers fans on social media that acted like, this offense was just going to completely be so much better. Be back what it was when it was Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, back in those days. I knew it wasn't going to happen immediately. Rebuilds take time. I was like, okay, let's just see how we can run with our interim offensive coordinator and Eddie Faulkner, and then actually hire a competent offensive coordinator next season, and then build our players into that system. Because we have talented players on our roster. Jaylen Warren, very talented. George Pickens, very talented. Najee Harris, very talented. Deontay Johnson, very talented. Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, all these players. And then don't sit here and tell me that Kenny Pickett is the problem. There's so many issues in the system. Is Kenny Pickett not playing good? Yes, he's not playing good. But he's not the only one who's to blame. How is it that we can sit here and say Pickett sucks and then just watch Trubisky play how he did tonight and Pickett's the problem? Get out of here with that. How about, next week against the Colts, just play Mason Rudolph. Let's see what he has in store. Why are we just letting Rudolph stick around if we're not going to let him play? He has talent. We saw how he played. He has potential. I'm not saying, he's going to be the next best thing. But who would you rather have? Mitchell Trubisky, who's been in the league since 2017, and he's still playing like he's a rookie? Or would you rather have Mason Rudolph? I want Rudolph. But what's going to happen? We're going to stick with Trubisky, and he's going to play against the Colts, I'm sure. So the Steelers get a mini bye because they play on Thursday. They play next Saturday against the Colts at Indianapolis. It's probably going to be a loss. Colts have a pretty damn good defense. And their offense they have talented players in their offense. Gardner Minshew is pretty good. Michael Pittman Jr., their backup running back, Zach Moss, running all over people. So... Anyway, I've been rambling on for about almost 14 and a half minutes now. It's just the thing that frustrates me the most is just seeing these delusional Steelers fans on social media not acknowledging players that are the problem or over-hating players, like the whole Najee Harris bullshit. Yeah, Najee Harris is the problem, but Jaylen Warren is the most absolute perfect running back in the NFL, and then he gets outgained by Mitchell freaking Trubisky. Jaylen Warren isn't perfect, guys. I like both Warren. Is Warren better than Harris? Yes, he is. I think Jaylen Warren is better. But Jaylen Warren is capable of making mistakes. It's time to say, okay, guys, we need to put blame on Warren when he's the case. Anyway, that's it for this video. I've rambled on long enough. Hopefully we can beat the Colts next Saturday, but not looking too good. See you guys later.